but still have something you can run around on.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that's crossing the fingers. We'll see how it goes. I realized that I gotta get my plant sale form.
I know, me too. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to figure my plant order.
I have it a little bit easier since I spent so much time staring at all of them. I've got a decent idea of what.
We usually use it for some grandparent presents and aunt presents, so
That's kind of
that's
fun.
usually a good thing to do right around Mother's Day.
They didn't have the succulent bowl. I don't know this year. They very sweet. Yeah, I was pretty sure I couldn't. I don't remember. If it's not on there, it's because it wasn't on the fundraising list this year. But there were.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I have grabbing check.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it's ours. It's a shared.
I was gonna look through it and then I never did, so I probably never.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Whenever I flip through, I'm like, oh my gosh. Very big and very organized.
Quite all the way out of the alphabet.
Before I forget, 9146.
Okay.
Oh,
You received?
I do.
Okay, I've got the check.
Electronic one.
Sure.
How do I get them?
Email,
Okay.
or no, email. to
All right, mic check, Mike.
Liz Malherick, are we on any group text?
I can send you an email to connect you all.
Oh,
That's easy.
Just gonna do a quick check. Hi, folks. Welcome. I'm just checking the live stream. Part of me feels like there's an extra firewall up. Nope, it's not. All right, good. It's just on my laptop. I think they must have redone your guys' Wi-Fi firewalls.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
Something might have happened.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Like, why is my computer not behaving the way it normally does? Okay. Hi, welcome. I'm going to start us on, I know there ought to be a few more folks, but they're not quite here yet. But I do want to keep going with this for time's sake. So welcome to April. And as you can see, again, I fall off the wagon every once in a while in terms of my timings. So we'll see if we can be efficient with the timings because we got a jam-packed meeting. So we're going to try and get some stuff done. For the sake of the recording, because there still are about a dozen people that watch this. I'm guessing it's not all of you because you've lived it once. So there are a dozen others who decide to live it later on. My name is Paul. I have a third grader and I'm PTO president. We go to Liz to my right.
Liz, I have 2 fourth graders.
I'm Diego. I'm the principal here at Bancroft.
I'm Aaliyah. I have 1 third grader.
I'm Mandy. I have a 3rd grader and a 5th grader.
My name is Kate. I have a 1st grader and a rising high fiver.
I'm Shauna, and I have, what do I have, 2nd grader. He's already thinking of himself as a 3rd grader.
I'm Robin, and I have a 4th grader and a 2nd grader.
Great, thank you. And then I'm going to go to Sue online.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sue Francis. I'm the IB coordinator.
Oh, hold on a minute. I think. Yeah, turning up volume probably would help. Try that again, Sue.
Hi, all. I'm Sue Francis, the IB coordinator.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And this is why we do mic checks. And Michelle, how about you?
Hi, I'm Michelle. I've got a 2nd grader.
Great, thank you. All right, so it's going to go to our treasurer's report, Liz's report. Here are the highlights, 53,503 in our main account, 24,486 in the field trip account. Really, the thing I sort of want to point out, I mean, our main account does what it does. I did want to specifically point out from the field trip account, because of all the great field trips that are happening in school, we're burning through cash like it's ready to burn. And so if you'll notice, We typically receive this donation from Masonic. It was 10,000 this year. We pretty much burned through that bit. So now we're digging into what could be called reserves. Really, it's just excess from pandemic, having not spent much. So you'll notice we received 10,000 this year. We've already done 7,700 of it. 5,100 still is just pending in terms of deposits and whatnot. Is that correct, Liz? That's what it means by pending?
That means checks that I've written that haven't gone through yet.
That haven't landed. And so we are at 12,934. So you can see that's by doing the math mountain, that's 2934 in excess of the donation. So we're into our reserves. But I did want to point that out. And for Sue and I have had this conversation, and Sue, you can certainly correct me because I know I still need to be corrected. A part of the issue, a part of not the issue, but because our free reduced lunch numbers have changed, that means our access to discounts changed. For example, our access to discounted busing fees or discounted entrance fees. So we, as a school, are paying higher than what we historically did when we were a magnet and our free reduced lunch was in the 80% range. Is that a correct statement, Diego?
Correct.
Okay, so because of that, that's really the main reason. It's not that all of a sudden willy-nilly we're sending students everywhere to go except for sitting in classroom, but it really is just things just got more expensive post-pandemic. And so for the sake of the folks on the recording, I'm highlighting this because this is the kind of thing that we want as a PTO to be aware about as we move through the end of this year and into next year. Are there any questions about this? I do. While people are formulating questions in their minds, I am going to just actually show our revenue in and our revenue out.
Paul, can I add on to your conversation about the free and reduced? Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
And I'm
Yep.
sorry, my camera was blocked. I forgot to unblock my camera. The next year, our free and reduced will allow us to get more grants and subsidies for admissions. Bus is always going to continue to be, we don't get any discounts. We can sometimes, like if it's the University of Minnesota, they'll give us some money or something like that. We'll get a little kickback, but really the busing is the most expensive part of field trips.
Great.
And I would anticipate it will stay that way. Yeah.
And so for folks that are keeping track, that's the Gardner transportation line item,
Yeah.
correct? Yep.
Yes. They've been real good to us. They've taken us lots of places.
And absolutely. So I do also want to highlight in the field trip account, you'll notice that we've taken in donations. We do also take donations in our main account to our general fund. Most of those donations come via our Give Amend sites, and then people just in the notation general fund or radio fund or whatnot. So that's a way that families can certainly reach out and support us. But to sort of just put a bow on the discussion we had from last time, because of the costs that we are currently incurring with our field trips, donations that help offset transportation costs is certainly welcome. And you'll notice that we've received quite a substantial bit of donations to the field trip account. So thank you very much. This is for the online folks as well as for everyone here. Thank you for your support of the school with those donations. Any other questions or comments before we move on? All right. And Liz, did you have any, was I good?
Yeah, that's good. We still have plenty of money starting to spend a little bit, which I think is good. It seems like the parents are very generous. We haven't tried very hard to fundraise. I feel like if we did try, we would get money again. So I feel very comfortable about spending some of that.
Good, good. Thank you. I concur, as the one Leonardo DiCaprio once said. Do we all know that reference? Catch Me If You Can. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, Catch Me If You can watch that movie. Okay, so we are moving into spirit. Oh, is this correct? Do I have my, sorry. Oh, principals update. I knew I was out of order. So I wanted to be kind and generous, and I know I gave you a 15-minute cap, but you know.
I don't think I need all 15 minutes, which is fine, but yeah, so we have report cards that just recently went out. Hopefully they've all gotten home. They're supposed to have gone home either Thursday or Friday to folks, and hopefully you saw your child's report card for the third quarter. And then the next ones will be mailed home to families after the end of fourth quarter. I do want to say that this week is Severe Weather Awareness Week, and so we will on Thursday be participating in the statewide tornado drill. And so that's something that all your kids will probably come home and say they had to crouch down and put their hands up on their head. And, so just so everyone knows, that's what we're doing, is practicing the tornado drill. And that will be right around 2:30, 2:45 here at Bancroft on Thursday. We also have to complete 5 fire drills for the whole school year. We've already completed 3, so we have 2 left between now and the end. And we also have to do code yellows, lockdown type drills, and the code reds. And so we only have a couple completed of those and have to do also 5 state mandated drills for the year. So there's 5 fire drills, 5 lockdown drills, and then 1 tornado drill that is state required. I think the biggest change from our last PTO meeting is that we are Sam's secretary at this point. Fabiola, unfortunately, after 6 years here at Bancroft, moved on to a different role at the district level. And so it's been quite a challenge to lose an amazing secretary, because that's really a misnomer for the job that she does in the office and all the things. It's not just about answering phones and taking messages. I mean, she does all the finance pieces and helps me create positions. And I mean, there's a whole lot of budgeting and clerking involved in there. So I do want to put a plug in there. That position is posted. So if anybody knows any folks that are looking for a position, that will be posted until it is filled. So please send any candidates my way. And Christine and I will be interviewing. We've already done a couple interviews, and I know Fabiola has really giant, well, figuratively giant shoes to fill. And so that's, we know we won't find Fabiola, but we do need somebody who can manage all the budget pieces and be the smiling face of the front office. So that's kind of a big deal.
Are you looking for someone bilingual?
That would be preferred, but not necessarily necessary. We still have, fortunately, Maria is still in the office and speaks Spanish, and I can speak Spanish too in the office, so that's helpful. Kathy taught our social worker. We have a lot of Spanish-speaking folks in our building. It would be preferred, but not necessary.
Is it a 12-month contract?
What's that?
12-month contract?
No. No. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Sure.
It is not a full year-round. Speaking of positions, this week is in Minneapolis what we call Interview and Select. And so it is when all, between April 10th and April 14th, all of the available positions are posted district-wide for current MFT members to be able to participate in interviews if they're looking for different positions or were excess from their position or just looking to change buildings. Those positions closed on Friday, and now the interviewing is on Wednesday and Thursday. And so here at Bancroft, we had 7 positions that were posted for Interview and Select. A 3rd grade section that is being added because of our numbers. A 5th grade section. Ms. Hartman is moving back out of the classroom into an advanced learner role that will support the giant number of advanced learners we have here at Bancroft now. There will be 2 EL positions. Because of our numbers increasing, there'll be a 1.0 and a 0.5 that I'll be interviewing for, as well as the 2 intervention positions that were created right before budget tie with the intervention triad. And then also a media position. Ms. Werner is still here and will be doing the library piece and doing the media. We can have an additional prep provider to support our high 5 through 3rd graders. And so those are the 7 positions that we have currently available. And I'll be interviewing, I think we have 19 total interviews on Wednesday and Thursday evenings. So I'll be here till about 9:30. So if you can see my car in the parking lot, I'm okay. Just doing interviews here all night, it feels like. And then after that, we'll make offers to see if there are candidates who we feel would be good fits here at our school. And then if there are still remaining vacancies, then there's a round 2 of Interview and Select. Sometime at the end of May, early June, the ESP positions get posted, and we will be trying to fill 10 ESP positions this coming year for the 23-24 school year. And so many of those are new positions that were created, and there's just a couple that are of folks leaving Bancroft. And so 4 of the ESPs are attached to the intervention teachers, and so they're the intervention teams. So each teacher has 2 AEs that support. So we'll have a total of 4 AEs doing intervention support with those teachers. We will have another student support AE, that's like Mr. L and Miss Tammy. And we're gonna have another classroom support. We're adding another classroom support AE, which is like Miss Laura, Miss Rufina, Miss Rebecca. And then a couple of high five AEs and a Siri, so a special education resource support person. And so that's, and the secretary, I included the 10 PSPs. So that's a lot of hiring that we haven't had to do in a really long time. And part of it is because we have added, almost a little over $1 million in our budget, and money equals people. And so I'm really excited to have that number of folks here supporting kids at Bancroft. Currently, we're at 445 students, and so our number has been increasing since the beginning of the year. I think we were budgeted for 363, and so it's quite a significant change. And we just got our, I said I didn't have a lot of updates, but I got a lot of updates.
Yeah, all good.
We just got our placement rosters. I think that the lottery closed, in mid-February. And so we've gotten a lot of the updated rosters, and we're looking really good as far as our kindergarten and first grade retention numbers. And so we'll probably stay around that 435, 425 mark going into next school year. And so I'm hoping that more enrollment. I'm really hoping, we're going to talk to Sue about this today, and Christine, the AP, really hoping to try and somehow get 4 kindergartens. Because if we get those 4 kindergartens, and that enrollment just will continue throughout. I know they have us projected at 82 first graders, which is crazy for just 3 teachers. And so I'm really hoping they all stay, and then I get an additional first grade teacher come August and September. But that will be a lot of advocating if we don't, because that comes out to about 28 kids per class, and that's ridiculous for first grade. So a lot of students is a great problem to have, as long as you get the resources and support to have in the building. And then with that, high five and kindergarten registration is coming up. We're going to have our open house on May 24th. It's a Wednesday. And so that's when we will be sending letters home. My hope is to get them out by the end of this week to all of our incoming high fivers and kindergartners, to invite them and their families to come to our kindergarten registration, high five registration event. It's a very, I shouldn't say it's not informal, but it's not formal either. It's just a way to come in, finish all your paperwork, bring in your birth certificates, your immunization records, meet the teacher, see the classroom, and I think the teachers always do a little activity too for the kids that are, that come. And then we'll have our big open house in the fall in August, and it invites everybody. But it's just an opportunity for the little ones to come meet their teachers, see their classrooms. They won't know who their teacher is yet, but they'll be able to meet some kindergarten teachers and some high five teachers, and just kind of visit the spaces. So it's a fun event. And then the last thing I did want to share, we continue to have, along with the field trips, just a lot of opportunities here in school for students to experience different things. The taiko drumming residency just wrapped up with a big assembly at the end of that for our 3rd graders. I know they absolutely loved it. This past Friday, we had a jump roping assembly.
Heard about that.
I unfortunately missed it, but I heard it was a huge hit, and every kid from high five through 5th grade was just captivated. And all the kids were watching these 5th graders from another elementary school do jump rope and pogo stick jump rope and double Dutch jump roping, and so it was just a really fun time. And so it was not necessarily educational or whatever, just a fun opportunity for kids to be engaged. And then we got a bunch of jump ropes donated to us, and so they've been using those out at recess and having a grand old time with that. And then a couple other opportunities. We have some familiar faces returning to Bancroft, and so Monica Rojas used to be an AE here at Bancroft, and she lived in the neighborhood and also was a Bancroft parent. She's written a new book, a children's book. And so she'll be coming to talk, and Sue, you can jump into, but she'll be coming to talk about her book and share some author pieces with some of our students. And then also Shannon Gibney, who many of you might know, but she's also an author and a Bancroft parent for a very long time. And she's promoting her new book, Sam and the Fantastic or Incredible African and American Food Fight. And so she will be also coming to Bancroft to do some author talks and share her new book with all of our students. She was here on African American Family Involvement Day. And just shared about, her position as an author and as a parent, and she's just an amazing person. It's great to have, these resources here with us in our building. But Sue, I don't know if you want to add anything about Monica and Shannon.
I know we're just have such talented people in our midst. Monica's book is called Nana and Abuela, and it's based on her experience growing up with her Nana and her Abuela.
Cool.
She'll present a high five through second grade, and I think Shannon is presenting to everyone. And then she's going to do a little writing workshop in second grade in all the rooms, same day.
Cool.
So always, we're trying to always provide different types of opportunities for our kids and share, like Sue said, share the expertise that is in this building. And so it's great for our parents and family members to come and share what they know and what they do with their kids. So, lots of stuff happening.
Fun.
Great, thank you. Any questions, follow-ups from online? Hi, Sarah, I see you just jumped on. And Eric is in the back here, but back down to childcare. Adrian? Did I say hi to you yet?
Hello, everyone.
All right, so moving on. Let me share my screen once more. All right, so we're just going to do a final, well, no, the final is premature at this point, but I want to update, and Aaliyah here as well, to give an update. First of all, Michelle, Aaliyah, Robin, thank you for all the work that's been going on with our spiritware. We have put an order of 680 total units, and then our expense 2818, and people are wondering, I know Liz like, I wrote a bigger check than that. I know Liz will be like, I wrote a bigger check than that. So let me sort of say, before we get to that, t-shirts are due to be delivered.
The end of April, so Overproof is printing them. We submitted the order. I dropped off the check on Friday. The thing, he said they'll be delivered by the end of April. He hasn't set a date for me yet because he had to pull all of his t-shirts from a warehouse. So depending on when those come through, they'll just start printing. So I'll check in with him later this week if he doesn't check in with me. But end of the month, and he can deliver them here or wherever we want. They're right over by Junord. Do you remember Junord? Back in the building. They're right over there.
No, that's great. So if end of April occurs, I'm hoping, or this is what I'm sort of going, I gotta stop saying that. This is what I'm sort of going for. Volunteers help sort classroom orders Monday, Wednesday through Wednesday, May 1 through 3. If we could do them and to get them in backpacks on our take-home Thursdays, it's gonna be the goal. We could certainly do it the week after if we need to. It just pushes us into flower.
I was going to say on top of that.
Yeah. So that's quite a lot of take-homes.
And volunteer time too.
Yeah.
I feel really confident that they'll be here before May. Like he had no concerns about that.
So what I'm looking for, or what I want to encourage from the folks that are here in person and the folks online, will work to come up with a distribution system. It's essentially, I've got all of the forms literally here. They all exist in the online. It's just a matter of one particular student has their free t-shirt and 2 household shirts. Roll them up, masking tape, write the name, goes into a box that's going to go to a classroom. And then that box, once it's all filled, goes to classroom 1, classroom 2. That's the notion. And I figure if we do it over 3 days, no one's going to get really, too hard with a 4-hour session. So I do want to put that out there for the folks online who watch this, a dozen of you or so who do watch this. I'm going to be reaching out to you people.
Is there a space that we can use to sort all of these?
That was a
Yeah.
good question too.
Yeah, we can find a space.
Okay.
I was sort of considering back behind Spanish. Is that space being used?
Yep.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it gets used for breakout spaces with volunteers and yell.
Okay.
Even behind the stage, we could set up a couple tables.
Okay.
That's.
That would work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I imagine there will be boxes dropped to the school, and then we'll
Yeah.
decide on whether behind the stage or some other place, just get them shifted there, and whoever one of us is on site that day.
That's my question is, who should I coordinate with when he gives me the delivery date? Who do I work with to make sure I mean, I can meet him and make sure they get loaded in, but like who at school needs to know that?
Normally it would be Fabiola.
Yep. That would be me.
Okay. Oh, you're so lucky. All right. I will let you know this week.
All right.
People, is this volunteer like bundling school day or evening?
Really, that's up to the volunteer group. Leah, not speaking, but, do you have any, idea of it?
I would love to do it on a Friday afternoon if possible. It just seems like we're getting into the spring. I work from home that day, so if I did a sign up for that day, and then maybe, I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think it's all about when they land and then
Yeah.
how, if they land before the Friday. So what would that be?
I mean, I can just tell them, like, bring them over on Friday, if need be.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
let's shoot for that, but I will update people and make a sign up sheet, when we have that date.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, evening, early evening.
You do like evenings before 5,
Yeah.
before like Minneapolis kids is done, or are people allowed to be in the school?
And to share, we'll share this load, because I'm pretty familiar with the
The
spreadsheet.
sorting process.
Yes, so
Yeah.
one of us would be on site, get people going,
Great.
if we need a second and a third night. If it's an evening, I forget who
And
asked.
I can do during the day.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
could
probably
probably
do
do a Friday afternoon on the 28th.
Okay, well.
Okay, let's make that a pencil.
But can I just ask one more question? We had, as you know, we had several like missing parents who we know that there's a kid in the class and they just didn't submit a form. We thought like there's probably gonna be some last minute people, so we went far beyond what the orders were. So I anticipate we'll have like, I don't know, 100 t-shirts or something kicking around.
Okay.
Can we keep those here?
Yeah.
I just made.
Yeah, I think we can put them in the PTO closet if
Well,
there's space in there, or.
and I'll be honest, we got the classroom lists.
Okay.
So I know the students who did not submit. So the day we do our distributions, we just wrap them up with.
Okay.
And sort of make that a thing. So, and so, of course, the I know is what gets me in trouble all the time. But I feel fairly confident because we got the classroom list, we know how many orders came in, how many were missing, and we have a general size
Yeah.
thing. And then we could also confer with the instructors
Yeah.
about that batch. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally doable.
We just went bigger on the most popular sizes.
Yeah.
And did a distribution with the rest of it.
and there is storage space too, the PTO closet has space
Okay.
next to all the other t-shirts. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
These are gonna be the best t-shirts.
Yeah, well, all the other t-shirts is all the outsides, that's too big for anyone to use on the student side, or too small for anyone to use on the adult side, so it's kind of like, that's what happens when you just sort of bulk buy and not, so I don't know, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. All the legwork that was put in on the front end to make sure we didn't overbuy versus, but anyway, I do want to point out,
Can I add one? I totally forgot one more update.
Yeah.
And hopefully we do not have school on Friday,
yes,
because the calendar was adjusted for the observation of ED. So we'll be sending out school communication also, but I know the district has already done that, but I just wanted to put it out there to make sure everyone heard and was aware. So, okay, great.
And that was the deadline for plant sale. So.
yeah, we will, when we get to plant sale, we'll make that discussion. Let me just wrap this up first, but I do have that as a thing on my head. I do want to point out for people, just in terms of data and information, 150 orders online, 193 via paper. I just want to sort of use that number as a way to sort of generate. I think we're a school that is getting closer and closer to like, if digital is a first choice, or if digital is a choice, that'll be somebody's first choice. So maybe future PTOs can consider how do we move ourselves off of paper into digital. And this is an example of where it's sort of working out. I know we wanted the attempt for spring plant sale, but again, I think there's room here for us to sort of be hybrid like the rest of the world. You'll notice I've got a bunch of other math numbers. Man, my math mountain was huge on this one. But the point I really wanted to sort of say, and this is transparency's sake for the recording, we cut a check for 4148 that covers what we're providing for free and what was added as additional for households. We took in some income, and so after the income, you still owe us a check. 2818 is our actual expenditure as an organization for the shirts. So that's where that number comes from. And this is, again, it's linked on the thing. We could peruse this ad nauseum later on. Now, based off of the estimate, this is where my math got fuzzy, but 441 was the number I had. And at a cost of $5 per shirt plus some unrecouped fees, it's the screen fee and the that kind of stuff. Our on paper expense was 27,190. The point I'm making here, 2018, 27,190, what does it matter? It's pretty close. I wanted to say that this was an exercise in a budget. This was a budget neutral exercise. We didn't use it as a fundraiser. We weren't intending on making any income. I think the plus on it was really just we sort of fudged up from 615 was the actual average cost, and we didn't want people having to come up with pocket change if they were cashing things. So that's where we got a little bit of the plus. Some of that $100 difference actually is going to get eaten up because we did place orders still for families who didn't actually give us payments. And we do need to sort of seek that out. We will. There were maybe 7 or so orders that came through without payments, but we let that go through just so because we knew it was going to get rightfully distributed later on. So frankly, this is just to give a sense, we did not intend for this to be a fundraiser, and this is budget neutral. If ever we get audited, that's the reason why I'm saying that 3 times. And so thank you very much. Congratulations on this. We still got to distribute the stuff, but the fact that we got here is great.
Yeah, so the other thing I do want to say too, and I think Michelle might be saying something similar, is that I know we need to get the online store updated, and my priority was getting this print done. But I will work with you, Michelle, so that hopefully the timing could be something like everyone gets their t-shirts and then people go home and they're like, I forgot to order a t-shirt. We can be like, that's okay, because now you can go to the online store. So we can work on that messaging.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we have bought ourselves some time, so this is good. Any other questions regarding either my Magic Math or Leah's project updates? All right, thank you. I'm going to sort of rest a little bit here.
Yes.
Robin, this is for you.
And should people also eat, or are we waiting?
Oh, well, we should get the kids up here first.
Yeah.
So let's do that. But do you want to
I'll
discuss
talk,
this?
well, yeah, perfect. Okay, so Teacher Appreciation Week is May 8th. Last year, this kind of snuck up on us, and I made cards and handed out candy to the teacher mailboxes, but this year I was thinking maybe we could add a little bit more to that with some more time in advance. And so one of the things that we've talked about doing is sending out like a page or a half page in our newsletter a couple weeks before that families can opt to do with their child, to like write in, oh, thank you, teacher so-and-so, write a little note on it. Michelle had offered to kind of design that and probably put the bulldog on it, so it's branded for Bancroft, and then students could just bring that back and give it to their teacher as like a handwritten note, which I think is always nice. But then also we were thinking of doing something for teachers and similar to last year, like maybe putting something in mailboxes or bringing in some treats that week, kind of up to us on what we want to do. But hoping tonight to vote for approval to expend some money on that treats and supplies for whatever that might be. But I also welcome ideas and look to, Sue or Diego, if you have ideas on what teachers might like that we could bring in, we're happy to bring in what they prefer.
Did we do a lunch or a breakfast last year?
We did not for this week.
Okay.
We mostly just done the meals for like conference dates. We've done like.
I couldn't remember because
Yeah.
I always do some sort of breakfast.
Okay.
And I'll probably do another breakfast or lunch
Sure.
this year as well. One of my colleagues talked about the treat teachers. I thought it was a really great idea, but they have a treat cart.
Oh.
And their ambassadors took them like from room to room, and the teachers could like pick out
Cute.
treats from the cart. And I just thought that was a really awesome idea, and I'm sure our ambassadors would like love to take a cart with a whole bunch of candy or popcorn or treats
That would
on
be
it and
adorable.
deliver it to teachers. So that would be that's one idea
Yep.
that I have. That I think would
That
be-
seems like an easy win.
a really fun thing.
Yes, let's do that. Go ahead, Steve.
Our ambassadors did do that last year or the year before. It was really fun. They made little bags with stuff in them that they went and passed out. It was really fun. And thank you for the dinner at conferences. It was very well received.
Oh, good,
It was delicious and wonderful.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Sue, should I follow up with you then to hook up with the ambassadors for that?
Sure. Yeah, they'll love it.
That will be great. That's really easy. Anybody have any other questions or discussion on that? Then we should vote to approve the expenditure for buying treats that the ambassadors can distribute up to a dollar amount of, I don't know, fill in the blank, Paul, what do you think?
Are we going by the actual rules, by what we do?
The actual rules. Okay.
Yeah, so we have a cap of 5.
Right,
Yeah,
Dollars per
so,
teacher?
yeah,
Yeah. It's 8.
so,
How many teachers are there? Or how many people will benefit from
50,
it?
60, is that right? Was that
Yes.
the number you used?
We have 71, 72 total people, so.
Yeah.
Why don't we just, I mean, I would like to suggest,
Yes.
let's approve the max, 5 per times 71 and figure out where that takes us.
yeah,
Okay, so would you like to?
do that, man.
75 people, that was 375.
Yeah.
Perfect. I would like to vote to approve $375, up to $375 in expenditure to buy treats that the ambassadors can distribute. All those in favor? 1 on the screen is yes, and 2 is no. And if you're in the room and you say yes, raise your hand. There we go, done. Thank you.
Never vote against treats.
Right? Who's gonna
Never,
vote
never.
against treats? Teachers need snacks? Awesome.
Great. And then, Michelle, this might be a new one for you. Did you talk about the newsletter bit? Or-
Yep, and she'd already
She
responded
did, okay,
via
great.
email, we're good.
All right, good. All right, then I am gonna, great. All right, thank you very much. This is great. So that was a nice
Onward.
bit of work there. Thank you for the collaboration. Spring plant sale. Okay, here we go. So,
Okay.
you've got my slide. Actually, take it away, Shauna, and then we
Yeah.
are going to discuss the date. So,
Yeah. So, as of right now, we only have like this and like 10 more that are at my house back.
4 more.
Oh, okay, so not very many, and I don't really know where we would normally be at this point.
Right. I'm not too worried yet. I rounded the classrooms, and as I compared, students were saying, oh, I want to get plants. So there's talk, it's just a matter of getting just reminders. So we did this, we're Facebooking. Diego, I'm going to send another email copy
Yeah,
to
I'm
you.
writing myself a note to put it in the next newsletter, which should come up this Thursday.
But Kimberly's notes also mentioned using the robocall once or twice. If that's-
Yeah, we can do a mass school email.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, was asking, but a robocall would be great also.
Yeah, it explicitly said the robocall,
Okay.
which I do find really helpful. So,
Yes.
Traditionally, I think most come back the second
Yeah.
half of the last week. Like it's,
Yeah.
me, I am also not on top of it. Like,
But I've got your forms.
oh, well, yeah, I just got them in.
yeah, I just want to make sure that we're doing whatever we need to be doing to nudge that in, and I would be very, very grateful for any help in recruiting the volunteers.
Well, this is absolutely, I think, the thing. The thing to not worry about is whether forms come in. I do feel comfortable they will be roll calling or emailing. But yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, first of all, much help do you need to process orders when they come in?
So I really don't know, but Corey and I'll get it done, whatever it ends up being. So what I was gonna say is that, I would never want to turn away orders that show up on like Monday. Or, kind of, like, I don't know where we normally draw the line.
We don't. So yes, that's a fair statement. So
Yeah.
we are communicating Thursday is our date. But in
Yeah.
the same way that we communicated Spirit where Friday was our date, we still took orders way up until, when did you put in the order? On the Thursday last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, an order
We
went
don't
through.
have a really long window, because
Yeah.
believe they're due to Paul's on the 28th, so
28th.
next Friday, so we don't, like a week from Friday, so we don't have a lot of time. But I was thinking by Monday or Tuesday, like, we could have it.
I think my hope is that we hold to the Thursday, get the lion's share of that in, and then everything that trickles in up until the Thursday
Will
before,
be
it's
super
just,
easy
yeah,
to add
yeah,
on.
yeah. Okay.
So I have a date with Jack at Paul's to run through what I have to do to make an order. I really think it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Tallying things.
Can you tell me when the truck is coming on that Thursday, or what? 'Cause I
You
know we were
had-
talking about
You had
times.
said it has to be late in the afternoon, so
Yes.
I told Jack it has to be late in the afternoon. I will confirm with Jack that
Okay.
it's gonna be late in the afternoon.
Yeah, because I think at some point, like 2 o'clock was
Yeah,
coded out there, and I
our
was like, no,
official slot
because.
is 2,
Okay.
but he did say like just sign up for whatever and I will make it work.
Okay, because I want to
so I
get through
really
at
hope
least
he does.
dismissal
Yes.
before we're then unloading a truck, because then Friday's dismissal is gonna be really
Yes.
kind of discombobulated. And
Yeah.
so I just want one
One.
that's chaotic compared to 2.
Is 4 o'clock, is that time for 4 o'clock the earliest?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we'll go for.
Yeah, I think 4 o'clock would be the earliest to have 95% of the kids out of the building.
Where does the truck pull up?
The loading dock.
So, I don't have a Google form yet for this, but Shauna, how are you taking volunteer names?
Could you?
I think
Put
the
a Google
sign up
form?
genius usually works.
Yeah.
The best. It's like, the Google forms are often not like intuitive. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Does that
totally
make
fine.
sense? No, like,
No,
the
yeah.
sign up genius is like very like visually based.
Yeah, no,
I feel like
absolutely
you
fine.
want to-
Oddly enough, that's the one account I don't have access to because I don't use it. So let's just, have you used it?
So I
Was it
have
your
always
account
just
you
made
used?
them on my own account. Like you don't really need a Bancroft account to do it.
Yeah,
You
okay.
Just make it for whatever.
So,
If someone else could take full responsibility for that, I would be super grateful.
I can do that.
all right,
Yeah, just let me know. I'll talk to you later about like exact dates and what we think our time slot should be.
Okay, I think.
But I
we have
can help
notes
manage
from-
how much it's.
Yeah, I think we have notes from last year. So. You had.
I had a question about, so in the past, we've had to order tables. We have enough tables. Does it say in the notes how many
I
tables?
will check.
Okay. Because I need to put an order into grounds and facilities, and so to make sure that they're here for Friday or maybe even Thursday evening. But yeah, once you find that out, let me know.
Yes.
I know it's at least, the alphabet and then the double alphabet. so
Yeah,
maybe
it's the alphabet and the double alphabet,
At least 50 to 60 tables.
but we will also have a better sense of size once we have an accounting of the order, but that's maybe getting a little too late. Like, when do you think you have to put in the order? Like, if we
At
get,
least a week in advance.
okay, we'll know by next week, because
Okay.
if we get, a massive number of the things that are coming in big pots, that's gonna take up different space than if we get a massive number of the things
Yeah,
that are.
and I think most of the times we put the planters in the big pots on the ground and then
Yeah.
have the little
Because there's
4
also,
square plastic ones that are
yeah,
on the tables.
yeah. Cool,
Thank you.
okay.
The rest of us should grab food?
yeah, go for food. I do have an outstanding question, Shauna, and it's the prizes for top sellers bid. Was there, what was that?
I don't know if I got all the way to the end of the manual, honestly. Just see what
Yeah.
you guys have done in the past. We'll have the information to be able to identify the top seller in each classroom or grade or however we want to do it.
Did you have a sense of what you wanted to see happen with this one? Or should we go, I need to put in an order still for
But do we still
Bulldog.
have any more Bulldogs?
Well, I need to put an order in, and I'm just wondering if I should account for this. That's plus 18, I believe.
Did you say it's per grade or per class?
I don't know, how do we want to do it?
Well, it was per class, is what the letter says.
Okay.
Does it? Okay.
Hold on.
Per grade. I thought it said per grade.
No, yeah, per grade.
It said per grade,
That's
which For readathon, we did for class.
Yeah.
So, but that was what the instructions said from last year. I didn't change the instructions very much, so I think it'd be awesome if we could do per class.
I think that's fine. We just need to decide what that is.
I don't know, I feel like it would be nice if it could be something sort of spring themed or planty. But the bulldogs are very popular. I would say, keep it simple, do bulldogs.
I'm in favor. I haven't put the order through yet. Put the order through still. That's gonna be another check.
Yeah, okay, sorry, just, I
All good.
wasn't tuned in.
No, all good.
A thought or possibility, maybe a candy bouquet?
I think district wellness policy.
We don't
Oh,
do
right,
food.
right, right, candy. Well, I thought of fruit, but that's messier. Right, right, right.
The bulldogs are generally popular.
Mhm.
We could do like bulldog and like a spring themed bookmark or something. You can also see what's in the PTO closet.
Could we also consider Shannon's or Monica's book?
That would be nice.
But like for
I think Shannon's doesn't come out till the end of this month.
Monica's book is like $22 though.
Is it out already? Oh, okay. All
But
right.
it's hardcover, so it's a hardcover picture book, so it's kind of expensive.
The bulldogs aren't cheap.
They're, they aren't?
They're not that, no, I don't, what are they?
I feel like-
$11, $12, I think.
Yeah,
for the
$12.
we don't go bonkers with our order size, so
Yeah.
it's not like we're able to really drive that price
Well,
down.
you mean the book instead of the bulldog?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that would be like a per grade thing versus per class.
Well, this is a good decision to have. I'm open to a per class and make it the book rather than the bulldog. It kind of, it's,
Get them signed too.
Oh,
yeah.
of course they can.
then their value just jumps, but you know, it's
Right.
value add right there. A first edition sign, that's like, yeah.
Now is Shannon's out?
I think it wasn't, as of last month, it wasn't yet available to the public. I thought it was coming out this month, so maybe that's a question to also have. But how do we feel about that, just generally? I know there were some head noddings here.
Michelle's got
Yep,
comment.
fidgety toys, folks is a book designer, but they are,
Oh, yeah.
they're dollar signs.
And you can, sometimes like the poppets, you can get them in the shape of a flower or, you know, something spring related, or like a Easter, like chicken and bunnies, and like that.
I mean, I have no vested interest. I'm gonna just make sure we actually work.
I mean, otherwise, I mean, I was thinking, you know, that my first thought was candy bouquet, but we could do like granola bars and fruit snacks instead of candy too. But this is a thought.
Yeah, no, I get a little leery of the food thing just because of the whole, just
Right.
allergy or food preference or that kind of thing.
Bulldogs are cool.
Yeah, I mean, bulldogs are an easy fallback. Why don't we do this? I mean, we don't need to make this vote now. Because we will.
Sue has a comment.
Yeah.
Students might already have the books.
That's true.
Well, we might already have the bulldogs too,
Do we-
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Do we have a spring, like a Springo event coming up?
No, we don't. We just don't have the capacity
Okay.
or the timing, frankly, at this point. I mean, normally by today, we would be executing a plan. not
Okay,
coming
I was
up with a
saying those
plan.
could be prizes then for a different event. or
Yeah.
something.
So we got Family Fest. That's what we sort of turned our eyes toward. That's at the very end of today's meeting to get there. But we will get there, but,
All right, I'll stop talking then.
yeah, no, all good. So let's do this. Bulldog,
Shannon's book is published the 25th of April.
25th of April.
And I
Okay.
know she's got a thing at Wild Rumpus coming up. She's visiting us and doing a book signing or purchase.
We could do a prize card and let the winner choose.
Yeah, I think, that's great. That's great. So why don't we do this? We got Bulldogs as a backup. They still need to get ordered anyway. Maybe it's just a matter of adjusting the order amount to consider. But let's look at, and I'll take it on. We'll look at the notion of getting access to the books. The winners per class can choose one or the other. We push an order through, they can get to us 3 weeks later, or however fast it takes for a newly published book to get in our hands. Is that a fair statement?
Yep.
Okay. Go for it.
Just a quick question, if I'm able to get any of those extra plants, one, you still be into that, and two, just drop them off on the 11th or
What
12th, or
do you mean the extra plants? I'm sorry.
one year I have a neighbor who works at a flower
what do you call it, nursery.
Oh,
And she had some they were gonna throw out, and I brought them, and they sold for like 25 cents.
oh, they were the on-site stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
I
doing
wondered where that
outside
came from.
sale this year, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wonder where those came from. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you don't want to handle cash, right? Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, good, good. I am definitely reviewing this recording, so I'll be number 13 for notes. Any questions, comments, discussions on this? And Shauna, you feel good?
Feel good.
Good, all right. Okay. Hey, so Safe Routes to School Grant Safety Patrol end of year funding. I'm going to take the easy one first. I am looking for a vote for approval to expend a little under 500, so I rounded up. Actually, my math might be off now that I think about it. Miss Sue's gone. I think she said the bus fee was actually $350 plus $8 per 22. So what is this? We have safety patrollers, and as a year-end celebration, they get a trip to Nickelodeon. Now, this has typically been funded by a grant through the Department of Safety and the police, and that. Anyway, that grant went away. So that's one of the reasons why we funded what they call payday, which was the monthly treats that safety patrollers get. Their payday on a Friday, I believe. So this has now come up. It's already actually scheduled for May 17th, so I really hope that we do approve this. The buses have already been scheduled. So, but I'm looking for a vote of approval for this to sort of cap the safety patrollers. And then where are we going with this? If people ask, well, is this a sustainable expense? Well, it doesn't have to be, because the next discussion is going to be about this grant, where I'm hoping that this grant that we apply to will become a safety patrollers funding in a more sustainable way. Not that it's that difficult for PTO to be the ones to shoulder this particular expense. Having said that, what I'm putting on the floor is somebody do my math. Hold on.
It looks like 526.
Thank you. 526 for safety patrol end of year celebration funding. Any questions or comments before this goes to vote? All right, so all in favor say aye. All against say nay. Online, a 1 means yes, a 2 means no. You there, Sarah? It carries anyway.
Yeah.
It does carry. Okay, great. Thank you for that. So my segue again into this, and this is now for Kate's going to have the floor. Oh, 1. Thank you, Sarah. Is that there is a grant that sort of crossed our radar, crossed Kate's radar, and so the floor is yours. What should we do?
Yeah, so there's a MnDOT grant that is due May 17th, which is really soon. It's between $5 and $50,000 for 2 years to fund Safe Routes to School things. So the application is about identifying barriers and connecting barriers to strategies. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all. Deepa, I think you sent out a survey about how students are getting to school right now. So some of that, I think some of the thinking and strategizing can take place in the grant funding. And MnDOT really, really suggested people go big because they said it's a lot of paperwork and it's not worth $5,000, but go push your budgets larger. So that's great. Bancroft is a high priority school. So they have a diversity metric on the site and we get like 88% of the points. So it puts us in a good position if we wanted to do that. So some of the questions that I have are, do we want to go for this?
I mean,
Is that the
yeah.
yeah.
Right, so I feel like, Deepa, you've got some ideas up there for things that, potential projects. Just thinking through this meeting, wondering about how can we engage some of either the safety patrols or the 4th and 5th graders in what is it to do grant work and how do you gather community input? So can we kind of take it up a notch and do some community building?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. Yeah, I mean, so we need to so to sort of back the truck up a smidge, I did post a link to a survey that I've sort of been ambassadorializing to people outside. Of course, these are all walkers, so I'm obviously in a very specific group. I am going to ask Gabe in one of the emails that we do, put this link out. But this is measuring, are you a walker, busser, biker, driver? If you are a driver, how come? If you're a walker, how come? I'm asking them what corner is your primary corner to cross, just to identify where traffic is coming from. So that's going to sort of lay some groundwork for what is the status of our traffic now that we are a community school and we're not having 12 buses unload here. Does that mean most people became walkers? Does that mean we have an equal walker driver population? So that was sort of one thing to sort of help inform the decisions that we make toward this grant. I'm in favor of this grant primarily because this is I mean, these are an immediate need that we've already been, as a group, we've been talking about. Safety, I do safety patrol. I don't know if that's a secret or not. Sometimes I don't have a sign because Miss Minnie has a sign. So if I'm over here, I'm using a different sign. It'd be nice to just buy a sign, right? That's a very basic thing. They're, replacing equipment. Community signage is a thing. We have been sort of trying to get an extra stop sign over there, but maybe could we invest in signage just to sort of say, hey, we got traffic, we got pedestrian traffic, consider slowing down. Or, I mean, some of that just informational signage, and then also educational signage. We have the walking bus, we have the bike-themed train. Do we have one this year?
No.
No, okay, well, then that leads us to the other thing. I mean, walking buses, biking trains, and those alternative modes of sort of socializing the travel and basically coming up with an educational platform or signage to sort of help incentivize, inform people, make them aware of the possibilities, and then they make the choices as they want to make. So that's kind of that was sort of when you sort of clued me into this. We already kind of had this stuff percolating. I thought, well, this is great. Maybe we can make it a thing. What I do want to point out, whatever comes out of today's meeting, the absolute minimum thing I wanted PTO to understand is if we pursue this grant, then we're going to need to have someone on the board that is the grant maintenance person because there are requirements to maintain this grant. So think of it now as a staffing, as it were, because there's some required things to do. And so I'm going to put on the floor that Kate becomes that person. So if we go for this grant, it's hinged upon that we do make the effort. Kate is going to be the one to lead the initiative, and it'll be Kate's position to sort of see this.
Lead the paperwork.
Sorry?
Lead the paperwork.
Yeah. I mean, it will still be PTO leadership role to make this successful. But the person who becomes the subject matter expert, you. And I say this, we're colleagues somewhat at the U, and Kate comes with a great background in terms of just doing this kind of work anyway. So I have all the confidence that this is going to be a very cared for grant because I know that you do it better than anybody else that I know. So that's that. There we have it.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
So I know there's been an effort for a number of years, like people just at least talking about like getting a stop sign at 39th and 14th. I think 39th and 13th would be cool too. But is that something? There was like a form that you filled in at the city where they took into account how many people were like interested in traffic improvements. Now, is that something that's part of the grant potentially, or is that a separate? Like,
no, it could be. I think we need to do some lobbying there, though. Oh, sorry.
Infrastructure grant is an October cycle, so that would be a different grant for the infrastructure to do that. But I feel like we could write in staff time to pursue knocking on the city's door and.
And that's actually, thank you for the segue. It's as if I planted this question. Because I've spoken with a person at the city, and so our effort is sort of stymied by the notion that it's just not a priority. There's an interest in not having that sign there. So however many people actually did the form in the 2 years that we were asking people to do, not really going anywhere. Now we're getting to the point of policy type discussion. This grant sort of opens the door to the idea of, okay, do we hire a consultant to sort of be a lobbyist for us? Now, this is obviously way too big of a deal to say that, but the fact of the matter is, I don't know how many, I certainly am not an expert in dealing with the city. And maybe there's someone in our community who is, and then this grant could be a way to sort of help facilitate that person to do that kind of work. So then to sort of follow from that, because that's absolutely one of the things I would like to see is a way of managing traffic on that particular corner.
As the city solidifies 30th in Chicago, they want it open. That street is a fast driving car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, that's, so I know that a few parents have raised that concern with me. I was working with somebody with safety and security at the district level who are no longer at the district here in Minneapolis Public Schools to advocate to get a stop sign, a four-way stop on that corner, because people do just blow right through it. And I know I've told people to reach out to the city or call 311 and try, and there's forms you can fill out for adding stop signs. One conversation I had just a few weeks ago was, is there a potential to get even like temporary speed bumps or, those little plastic ones that they put in? Because 38th has become not as pass-through as it has been, a lot of people resort to 39th, and it's a lot freer traffic. There's a couple stop signs, but I think a lot of people are driving a lot faster than has been in the past. And so, I can reach out again to safety and security to see who's the new person that would try to advocate and work with the city. He came out and did an assessment and said, yeah, we definitely need a four-way stop there, but that's kind of where it ended. And so, yeah, I would love to have a four-way stop there or some speed humps. I put out those signs that say school's in session, like drive safely, but I mean, I don't know how much that
Well, no,
does
we
to
could
prevent
have,
speeding, but
we could fund more of that, so that,
Yeah.
I mean, that just exists more. The other thing I was wondering about was, could you rent or, commission the city to have their little speed trap thing? That just says you're driving 45, it doesn't do anything, but people notice, they slow down.
on
and
that school zones, I
that
mean, I know
helps
near
social
my
education.
kid's school, there is a sign that says,
Yeah.
20 miles an hour and it flashes however
Yeah.
fast you're going. So that's a
Yeah.
possibility in there.
The funds can also do things like pay for bike racks or pay for bike locks and helmets for kids. So I don't know if there's anything Mr. Maxwell needs in his curriculum to help students build skills. I know he just got a bike too.
We have so many bikes.
Okay.
There's a lot of
Which
bike
is
racks,
great.
yeah, like along the side, there's so many racks, but locks might be something that people could use.
Yeah.
The, and related to that was, like a repair station thing, which I think, there's a,
Oh.
right? I remember it said the
Warren
district
has one,
had-
like Pillsbury has one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't have a
it's
permanent
all
one, but the district had some stuff that came with a red shed at one point, right? Or the red,
The big red trailer.
yeah, the red trailer, yeah.
I don't know, but I think it'd be great to have a little like station that you can, screws into the concrete that has a pump and
Yeah.
there's been a few, I've seen a few of those things around. That's kind of a cool thing.
So,
What
yeah,
more do we
is-
need today? I'm just gonna keep us moving.
Yeah, so thank you.
Is
So,
anybody interested in working on it?
yes,
Yes, you can come in.
and for those of you online, there are opportunities here to be involved.
What date did you say to?
It's due on May 17th.
Okay, thanks.
So I think, just generally, what I'd like from this group today is an affirmation, an affirmation by vote, that this is a grant we will pursue. And then this is a position that will be created. And just take it from there. We have our next PTO meeting, I think comes right before the due date for this thing, so that we can check in at that point. But having said that, the proposal on the floor is that Bancroft PTO pursues a Safe Routes to School grant, and in doing so creates the safety grant chair position. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Nay. Any online? One for yes, two for no. Thank you, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. All right, so this carries. So we have direction on this, and we have ideas. Kate, how do you feel?
Let's do this.
All right, good. I like it. I like it. Good deal. Thank you very much for that. Everybody fill in the travel survey.
I just did.
Oh, there you go. All right, cool.
Because I have access to the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
That's sort of-
yeah, absolutely. Can you send me an email and remind me? Because I'm going to forget in the next 30 seconds. Okay.
It's right on the PTO website.
Yeah, it's on the PTO website. I think it's the second link below the meeting link. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Bancroft Garden. So there's been some chatter back and forth about this. This is the most current info. I'm not going to actually go through it, but to say that we do have some action items to do here. You'll notice I do want to vote an expenditure on this just to make sure that this activity can get off the ground. Some things that we don't know about is the extent of other classroom involvement. That's one thing that's an unknown. The other unknown is frankly is PTO involvement. I mean, do we want to create an activity around this thing? Ms. Preston's going to be doing this thing whether or not we're here, right? I mean, this is going to happen. It'd be nice for us to be helpful. It'd be nice for us to get folks involved. And then Ms. Preston's getting other classrooms involved. It becomes an educational thing. I mean, that's like a double whammy right there. And so, did you have any comments you wanted to add?
I just went to the library and got free seeds from the seed bank, from Posner. So these are all donation seeds. We have arugula, collards, peas, 2 peas, kale, spinach, chard, dill, marigolds, parsley, and this is from my friend who runs the Experimental Farm Network. Cool. Lettuce and mustard greens. So just a bunch of cool stuff that's probably easy to grow. And then I suggested on the email thread that like we just like it's super easy, those little compostable, pots. I'm sure that all teachers are already thinking about this as an activity for their kids anyways. To just like have some dirt and some of these compostable cups to do the planting, and then like not that involved except for just putting the access to the materials wherever they need to be put. And then the other idea that I had was like just after school one day, whoever wants to the walkers among us, or grab a shovel from our house and just like make light work of it wherever the garden plot is and just do some digging. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Someone chimed in today, I think, about being willing to oversee it over the summer, which is awesome. I don't know who that was.
I can't remember either. But yeah, so there's an email thread about this. If you want to get on it, let us know. Yeah, I think if you want to pick a date that it's like your 2 dates, and after school, we can go out and just bring tools and get the gardens kind of ready.
Yeah.
That seems like an easy win.
It's fun. Like, I mean, who doesn't like to get their hands in there? I do. It's fine.
So, yeah, no, this is great. So, what do we have dates in mind? What's the timing like? Do you think? I know it just snowed yesterday.
Yeah, I think like last frost for this, whatever strata zone. I think it was like for sure May 15th, but like you can be pretty safe after May 1st to plant anything.
So, do we want to just sort of promote this event and make an event of it, of the, people, walkers bring their shovels, but kind of the play date idea. Look, we're going to be doing some gardening stuff. If anyone wants to hang out with us, we're going to have juice and treats. And just
My question is, where is it?
Oh, it's this corner.
Yeah, there's raised beds.
Yeah, those raised. So my curiosity is, are there non-raised beds, like too? Because I feel like that's not as like accessible to kids, like they have to like reach or like look over. It's not like you can't really.
I don't think
they're incredibly high. I think kids can.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Maybe we don't. We could find some place to have beds. I mean, we have this planter right in front of the cafeteria, which the kids have actually done a really good job of staying out of, because I do it on the announcements every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But the irises are actually starting to like pop up and not have like torn up and bent leaves. But that could be a place. But yeah, we could find some other. There's not other beds necessarily around the building, but we can.
Would that be in addition to the raised beds idea, or?
No, I just like, I didn't know.
No, yeah, well, I think the general answer is no, we don't, but you're open to that happening, and would you like to tour the grounds and maybe select the site?
I think one thing that was an issue in the previous, trying to maintain this garden, is that the getting water to the beds is tricky, especially in the summer. There wasn't like a
where's the hose? Where's the closest hose?
I think that people were taking it from inside, like essentially. I don't think there was a
Is there,
hose
is
setup.
there
I
a
remember
hose, like, I would
talking
assume
to-
there would be a hose.
I think
So
Mark
there,
got
yeah, so
requested.
the hoses outside, you need a special key to unlock the water. It's like you can get it at Ace Hardware. or
Is it an
whatever.
Allen tool?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
so
special.
it's got like 4 or 5, well, not everyone has, I have a
I think
hose
I'm
key.
carrying an Allen
Everybody
tool
has a hose
somewhere.
key hanging around, but there's like 4 or 5 different things, and you have to turn, that's how you access the water. Our hose, we have hoses, I mean, I brought my own hose, because I would like to get the chalk off the building one day, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, you would need, and I don't know where all the hose bibs are around the building. I know there's one right out here. And I know there's one out in the front of the building, but I don't know.
There's one idea, or just like vision that I had was to like just like a strip. This is kind of probably like soccer territory, so it might be not a great idea, but like just right along the fence, like that whole strip, right? Just like literally like all the way down on the most.
On 14th?
Yeah, on 14th, like on the inside of the fence.
Yeah.
And just like, I know it would be a lot of work, but like, there's a school, I can't remember the name of it, it's like close to Uptown, that has a similar feel of like, hey, this is our garden, and to have it be close to the cafeteria is kind of the idea of why I'm like, hey, farm to table, like, can we grab some vegetables and have it be like, oh, we made that, we grew this, kind of feel.
Feels like where the irises are, if we could use some of that space, that's right by the window.
You can see it.
Yeah.
It seems like the
Yes,
sort of
sure.
thing that maybe start small and see if you can actually even, keep something small alive all summer before you start digging up the soccer field.
Well, I wonder if, I'm just thinking about time too. Do you have availability? We'll just set up a meeting with Miss Preston, Miss Margaret, and talk about what's already sort of percolating in terms of an activity, and then how we could sort of,
Yeah.
Get
totally.
in on that train.
I don't want to bite off more than.
Yeah,
I can
no,
chew
I-
or anybody else.
I think that-
I just have visions, and I'm not necessarily an executor of said visions.
No, this is
But
good.
kind of like,
You need to
plenty of.
see where you're going and then figure out what that step is to get there. I think that's, the logistics part is the part that as a group, we're missing. 'Cause we just don't understand, I mean.
And
She
that's-
has the most experience, I think, in previous years doing this.
And that is like, I want to find her and give her.
Yes.
That's what.
Perfect.
When you were reciting them, I was like, that's a Simon and Garfunkel song, isn't it?
Sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Yeah, there we go.
Basil, that's good.
So, I do want to, get an expense, something on the books that's approved by the group, if the group approves it, again, I'm not kind of strong on this. So that we have access to funds to carry us through what might be an activity until our next PTO meeting. The 150 to 200 was sort of, the ballpark. I think a couple of folks sort of signed off on that as reasonable. So the question to the group today is, would we approve $200 for supplies toward, the raised garden project? It actually is inclusive of irises. Michelle's actually going to be creating some signs, for the iris, beds here. I know she's off the meeting already, but the vote is approval of $200, toward this project. Any questions before I call the vote?
Yeah, can I just say one thing? So it's actually from Robbinsdale Public Schools, and I think it's really cool that they're doing medicine gardens at some of their schools. And so they're partnering with their Indian Ed department, and I just got this email, a few days ago, to create these medicine gardens and using like traditional plantings and working with Indian Ed, like sage and red willow and some of these sweet grass. And I think that would be something awesome too, to like, and I know, again, great vision, but I think that'd just be really cool to connect with a lot of our students. We just had native group this morning with Indian Ed, and so I think that's another connection that we could do with the garden piece.
Can you forward that to me, and then I can make sure it gets to the garden group?
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. That's great. Wow.
Cool, because there's also pollinator gardens too.
Permaculture and all that. Down for all of it.
Good, good, all right. So, the votes on the floor, all in favor, $200 expenditure approval, for the garden project as it takes shape. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against, nay. Any online, one for yes, two for no? Is that,
That's for flowers.
that's a new one, right? Okay, yeah, okay. All right, good deal. Well, vote carries. Thank you very much for that. We're gonna be keeping you busy, Liz. All right.
So does that mean, I volunteered to like pick up some of those supplies? Is that still something that you guys want me to do?
Yeah, so I think what we'll do is on the chain that exists, I think the first step is let's connect with Miss Margaret about that, literally talk through the logistics. And then, since you have a source, it's really just a matter of confirm the source and then pay for the source. And so we'll then connect up in terms of supplies or whatnot. And you've got the seedlings right there, and then we can talk about whether we're, putting corn in the soccer field or.
Yeah.
Yes,
No guarantees, and of course, if we got anything, it would be random.
yeah.
Would you want me to check with my neighbors?
Oh, that nursery.
See if they had any extras for the garden planting?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't know for sure what we'd get, but, okay.
It's like those
So
mystery
last week of
packs.
April, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, for her, yes, for Miss Margaret's activity, yes, last week of April, that's correct, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. It's kind of like, what happened, what's the story? I'm sure everyone's had this story. My parents told me the story about how they planted stuff. And then for whatever reason thought it would look neater if they just took away all the labels, but then of course they forgot what stuff was growing, so they were surprised about stuff that was popping up. This is like one of those amateur garden things that you do when I'm like 3 or whatever.
It's like randomly finding tulips in the middle of your yard with squirrels.
Yeah.
Just what happened.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that.
I have a question about who is Ms. Preston.
She is one of our EL teachers, ESL teachers.
I'll just,
All right. Okay, so, does anybody remember this discussion from last fall?
Yes.
Yeah, so we, there's an email, that, Diego,
I saw it.
yeah. All right, so there's been some back and forth with the district about what's possible. There's some clarity and also not clarity. So there's still some work to be done, but we do know that we can purchase the uninstalled items, or we can move forward with that stuff. Really, the only thing that's unclear for us is whether we're going to be allowed to hang speakers. But everything else doesn't have to be an install. So we can move forward on a project to improve audio in the gym. And in the process of doing that work, figure out whether or not they will let us hang speakers this summer. I'm reintroducing the discussion now, not for any type of vote, really, well, I guess I say it right there. I want to get this idea back on people's plates so that we can talk about it, have a good discussion in May, and actually vote to approve the expenditure. So I just want to update the group on what has been occurring. So Northrop was my model for this. As it turns out, Ms. Mink was actually from Northrop. I didn't realize that until after I made the connection.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So, so they have a gym with a sound system that they upgraded like in 2017 or 18 or something like that. And so, and she was key on that. I did connect with Ms. Mink, Ms. Lori, Mr. Maxwell, since they're the primary users. I think it would be worth an email to just the teaching staff, well, just the staff as a whole, say, look, we are looking to do this. What would your input be? Just another way of reaching out to stakeholders. But our primary users have input, and we do have that documented. The main thing that we're looking at doing is we're having an assembly. How do we improve sound for the assembly? Great. And then we have performance. What do we need to improve sound for performance? So that's a little bit of an upgrade. And then in terms of performance, there's do we go big, do we go small, right? Ms. Mink did provide a shopping list of Northrop used. Of course, post-pandemic, all technology prices went up, and availability of that technology has also become dynamic. So it's not the same price list, but the gear is there. So we have what am I establishing for our group? We have a need. We have a model to follow. We have experts that have an interest. Okay, and we have 75% permission from the district, right? So the goal is to follow through with actual bona fide proposal, inclusive of speakers, by the May meeting, have a good hearty discussion about it, and then, in my hope, approve a vote for the work to occur over the summer. I could show you a spreadsheet about gear, but that just gets too nerdy, so I probably won't. But I do want to open up to just initial discussions at this point about this.
Love it. Sounds cool.
Support it, yeah.
All right. All right, good. All right, Mr. Paz, sir, Diego, sir. Diego.
No,
Okay.
I think it's, we wanted it when we had the original initial construction project, and they didn't budge and didn't put it in because they said we're an elementary school, we don't need a big auditorium type sound system like the middle school, and so that's kind of where that ended, and I really hope that we're able to get something installed and hung up, and I know I did buy with some of our Cargill grant money that we got, a new portable sound system, so we can at least bring it up here and use it in the gym. It's better than one Mr. Maxwell has. So at least that's a start, but this I think will be amazing for many more presentations and performances to come.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially with all the performance bit, I think, because I feel like, I don't know, I came to the school right.
Oh, we got Arts Night on the 16th. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, Arts Night. That's May.
Yep, May
Yes.
16th. Sorry.
Thank you.
I should have been on my updates. So we got a number of kids singing songs, and our 5th grade band is playing.
Yeah.
I think it's kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade this time.
Yeah.
5th grade band.
All right. Wow, I think it's for almost 5 minutes. So this is for,
So did you skip fun?
did I? Oh, I did. Thank you for calling that. Okay, so we're not that far ahead. Okay, Family Fun Fest. What a great segue from Arts Night. So Arts Night's coming up. Mostly that's the school's thing. I think we will table, and we are certainly available to be helpful, but there really isn't much of a role that PTO is playing in that particular one. And so that, and given that we just, as a group, did not sort of make a drive toward the spring event, the Family Fall Fest is going to be the one that we sort of do a little more heavy lifting. This is kind of the template that we're working from, but we can certainly change up as we need. I did want to, first of all, who would like to help throw the Family Fun Fest? That's question number one.
When were you
When
thinking?
is it?
Yeah, and so
Start of school.
this is a discussion we sort of, it's either going to be the week, the penultimate week of school, or that final week. It's going to be a Wednesday after school because the final day is a Thursday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think we need to sort of negotiate with Diego here about what else the school has planned so that we're not overloading one week versus another week. So that is,
So it's either the week of June 5th or the week of June 12th.
yeah, and so that is for this group to decide in conjunction with staff, when do we want this to fall? Penultimate or ultimate? It's like a book. Starsky and Hutch. Okay, so that's A. B, I call it past features. I wasn't really sure what else to call it. I did want to get at this. Robin and I were sort of talking about this. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure.
You take it.
Okay, so I was thinking about, in the past, people had mentioned that there were art supplies to give away to students based on like what you had received during COVID times. So it was a bunch of extras, and I was like, well, what do teachers have in their classroom and what do they do at the end of the year to like prepare to clean their rooms for summer? I don't know, I'm making that up if that's what they actually do, but I was like, maybe there's a way for the PTO to go and like collect things that the teachers are kind of done with. And then we could package and distribute or have a table that parents could grab from that night. I don't know if that is something that is useful to teachers or not, but I was just kind of like guessing on what might be things that could be distributed.
Is it true we're not hosting anything, the school's not hosting anything over the summer so that there could be a deep clean opportunity, or am I
Correct, yeah,
misunderstanding?
we are not having any summer programming, so summer school at Falwell, extended school years in the different schools, so there's 0 events happening at Bancroft, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so that means there is. No,
Oh,
absolutely.
great.
Well, so I think that lines up great with this idea.
I was kind of smiling too, because teachers are kind of pack rats. So I don't know how much stuff it might be like. Oh,
There's
yeah,
some
we
weird
just
prizes that my
notepad.
kids come home with, and I'm like, where did your teacher get all these prizes? Which is fine, but like, and it's nice that they have that, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they want to keep some of that
Yeah.
for that purpose.
So I
but
don't
I'm
know
like,
how much stuff you'll gather from
Sure.
soliciting that from,
Okay.
not trying to.
Yep, no, that makes
But I
sense.
think a lot of people hold on to a lot of things, or like, oh, this will be good for prizes next year, and so
Right.
that happens.
That makes sense.
Melissa, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I wondered, like, I don't know about you all, but as a parent, I have all kinds of random art supplies in my house.
Yeah, right, that's the parent.
Like maybe just like a general swap. Welcome people to bring things, give and take kind of thing.
Maybe. I guess I don't wanna like overcommit to like coordinating, giving away people's stuff at an event where there's other things happening.
Yeah.
But I was just like, if there's a need to bring things that we can share, that maybe we would have a table to do that, but anyway.
Yeah, no,
We could put it out, we
Yeah.
can put the ask out and see what we get. I don't envision getting a ton of stuff, but
We can also like try to get things from the community, like between Melissa and me, we have 2 pretty active Buy Nothing groups. So there's potential to maybe be able to find.
the book giveaway is, that's no problem.
Yeah, no, we
I've mentioned
got-
a few
we
times
got-
that my wife has
I'm
a-
not saying we need to have art supply
I think it
giveaway.
just sounds like it's turning into a
cool.
lot of
Yeah.
coordination and.
Yeah.
I mean, just speaking for myself, and I would want to manage Robin if you, like,
I'm not saying I need to go out and find art supplies.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if there were things that teachers wanted to get rid of, we could help them. And I
Yeah.
thought, as a parent-teacher organization, like, how can we help teachers with their stuff?
Let's make that
That's
the ask.
more where I was like,
Let's make that the
Yeah,
ask.
we can definitely put it out.
Yeah, and then, just, we could use May to, and so the final call on whether or not there's gonna be an art table could be the Tuesday before the Wednesday,
cool,
even, right? I mean, that's living on the edge of your seat, right?
love it.
Okay, all right, good. But so, yeah, okay, that's great. I would like that idea. Field games. So, I mean, really, this is for this group. So I am looking to recruit that group. I did want to point out
Okay, so.
fourth grade band.
I'm talking a lot now. So,
Yeah.
there's fourth graders that have made their own band. They have the first gig on May Day at someone's porch, but I mentioned to the band yesterday at their practice, that was at my house. I said, would you guys want to be a performer at Family Fun Fest? And they were like, yes, we would totally be interested in that. So if there's an opportunity, there are 6 fourth graders in the band. They play ukulele and drums, and they all sing, and they've written all their own songs. And their name is Mix Match, and they would love to have a second gig at Family Fun Fest.
Yeah. I think that's a no-brainer. In fact, I want to pay them.
I mean, they're adorable.
Yeah,
So it's great.
no.
I'm super biased.
All right, so this is on the books. We just need to gather people. How do we want to do this?
And figure out a date. I mean, I think that then someone needs to take the lead in like coordinating and planning in
I'd say the
partnership with staff.
day before the last day of school sounds horrible.
Okay, so then,
Agree.
I think the penultimate week sounds.
yeah.
if that works for you, I would like for that too. I just wasn't sure if field day and all that other stuff that you
Field
had.
day is, the week before that, the second.
The penultimate of the penultimate?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, all right, good deal. Okay, and just to close this out, are we good? I am just making the announcement so that people are ready, and this is, I mean, you all come, so you all know this stuff, but for the folks that are watching the online, we will need to select new new board leaders in the coming up May PTO meeting. So if there are any ambitions, go ahead. It would rise to that. We will still have positions that will continue over the summer because they get refilled in September when new families come in. And then we've already sort of established this. So this part is already established. I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if there are any questions about it, but for the folks who are watching this online, the 12 of you, that I like to make a joke of, maybe you could cross that barrier and come in live. It could be live online, it could be live in person, but either way, it could be live and you could have an active role. Okay, that's it for me. Any other questions, comments, concerns, complaints?
Oh, I was just gonna say, were you recruiting help for Family Fun Fest? Or?
Yeah, we need people to like join forces and help plan Family Fun Fest.
I can absolutely. Also, if you need someone to run sound for your band, I know someone.
Oh, Joel is totally our guy. That's genius. Thanks, Joel.
Do we know where Margaret's room is, that I could maybe just drop those off and send an email?
Or
I don't want them in my house.
Don't, but I know that.
You can put it in your
mailbox. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's meeting adjourned unless there's anything else.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you, everybody, thank you.
Yeah, you want to send me the diagram?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure it's more than 12.
Yeah.
So I brought them in July.
And then we can order.
Yeah.
Ryan,
We always ordered them from
Anderson,
Food and Ground, because they get
SON.
muddy, they get
When do
dirty.
you want